How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a kick-ass week. Today I'm doing something that I've been holding off doing for a long time. I'll explain that later on, but essentially what I'm doing, guys, is I want to taste a essence whiskey, which is basically a few drops of this stuff along with some neutral or some vodka, and I want to taste it against my homebrew, a little secret something going on here, and of course some of the big boy stuff. Welcome to Distiller, everyone. I'm Jesse, and this is the channel all about chasing the craft of home distillation and making it a legitimate hobby. So if that's what you're into, guys, if you dig craft spirits, if you like making them or you're thinking about getting into it, I thoroughly recommend subscribing down below. This channel is probably just the thing for you. Alright team, so here's the thing. Ever since I started making spirits, or actually before I even started making spirits, I was super interested to see whether or not these essences were any good. And from sort of other hobbies and other food-based sort of things, I must admit I was really biased against them. A lot of the other people in the craft sort of said the same thing, that they were horrible, that they were no good, and to not bother with it, basically. I have heard murmurs and rumblings, though, from other people that say that actually they're not as bad as they used to be, and you know, they're not a bad approximation. So I thought I'd give it a go. Now, the reason I haven't done this for a long time is I wanted to get to a point where I had some of my own stuff that I thought was half decent and had a little bit of age under its belt to compete against it. I also wanted to get a little bit better at tasting this stuff and assessing it myself, and I'm still absolutely shit at that. But I do believe I'm starting to get a little bit better. But what I have here is Distillings Tennessee Bourbon Essence. And actually, just for the sake of full transparency, Luke from Distilling actually sent this to me ages ago. So sorry that I haven't done this sooner, Luke. But like I said, there's a few reasons that I was holding off for it. And I think I told you that at the time. So you guys know, Luke did send this to me. I didn't pay for it, but I'm also not being paid to talk about this. So I will be giving my fair and honest opinion on these stuff. So, what are we looking at right here before we get stuck into it? First up, I have some of this right here. This is Woodford Reserve, and I am a little partial to this stuff. It's quite nice. I enjoy it. Think of me what you will. Second of all, I have a fairly neutral vodka with pretty good cuts, actually. It's pretty decent. With, of course, the Duck Distilling essence in it. Next of all, I have my UJSSM, which has got a little bit of age under its belt now, and this is the version that's just straight up white oak. There's nothing, you know, none of the finishing barrel woods in it. And last of all, what I've done is taken some of the UJSSM, but I've added the same dosage of this stuff into it as well, so I'm really interested to see what happens there. Let's get stuck in, guys. First of all, what I want to do is taste my UJSSM. Now, every time I come back to this, I do think it gets a little bit better. This is out of the aging jar. It's still aging. It's slowly getting better. But to be honest, the nose isn't... It's not amazing. Like, it's nice. There's a little bit of vanilla, a touch of corn, and that's kind of where it peters out. And it's always been a little bit like that. It hasn't had a great nose to it. Starting to get a little bit more barrel char going on in there. Definitely more vanilla, more cherry. A little bit of spice, but not a lot. And it's not Christmas spice or cinnamon or anything like that. It's more a touch of pepper, I guess. What else? It doesn't have a big sugary kick to it like a lot of bourbons do. And I get and I have the suspicion when I jump over here and taste this one, that's really what's going to stand out. Hold on. Alright, the Woodford. Whoa! Yeah, okay, so straight away the nose is totally different. There's a touch of vanilla, but it's a flavor that I'm finding really hard to describe for bourbon, and I don't know exactly what it is. And I think that it's very much the new American oak. And I think my latest theory is it's from the white oak, or, you know, so if you've got in the barrel the char, the redwood, and then sort of getting to pretty much raw oak. I think it is the raw oak flavor. I think, maybe you guys can help me out with this, but it's kind of sappy and new oak is what it is in my head, but I don't know if that's really what it is. A little bit like green apple, I guess, but it is the predominant smell that I get on the Woodford Reserve, which I do not get in mine at all. Yeah, and it comes through pretty heavily on the tongue as well. Actually, less vanilla, I think, than mine, and a touch fruitier. But to summarize, this kicks the ass off this. I would, hands down, rather drink this all day long, and it's a whole lot sweeter too, actually. Much sweeter. All right, now with that said, I want to jump in and try, essentially it's just vodka with the prescribed amount of this put into it, and I was using a tiny little syringe to make sure that I was really accurate measuring the right amount of this out. So let's give it a nudge. Oh, okay. So this is like, I want to call it apple crumble, which I guess is pretty similar to apple pie for the Americans. Yeah, so yeah, a hint of green apple, but not a lot. Vanilla, heaps of vanilla. And some Christmassy sort of spice, probably mostly, yeah, maybe cinnamon, I guess. But it really is mostly vanilla, candy, sort of baked apple sugar, and baked apple, actually. It's, yeah, it really, really reminds me of apple crumble, which is bizarre. Anyway, is 100 times better than I was expecting an essence to be. Dude, I gotta tell you right now, guys, this is pretty much the first time that I've tried an essence whiskey since I really cared about this stuff. I have tried them in the past, but it was made by people that I don't know how good they were at the craft, and I was in a place in my life when I drank the stuff like that, or put it in with Coke, and all I cared about was how smooth it was and the ABV. This is heaps better than I would have imagined, to be honest. But what I'm getting at is I don't know if it's because this is better than the rest, or if that's just where essences are at these days. Yeah, wow. It tastes really similar to its smells, actually. It tastes like cooked apple, like cooked Granny Smith apple with brown sugar, a touch of vanilla, and a little bit of nutmeg and cinnamon or something like that. That is very pleasant. I was kind of hoping not to say that, but anyway. All right, to compare it between this and this still does not have that sappy, raw, estery apple that this does. It's a totally different taste, although it is similar. This is raw apple and sap, whereas this is sort of cooked, caramelized, sautéed apple, something like that, with the vanilla and stuff on top of it. Now this is lacking both of those. It doesn't really have that. What it does have is a warming spice flavor to it that is present in here, but actually more of it. And this doesn't have any of that. This is more like baking spices, not barrel spice, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's something, artificial is not the right word, because it's not artificial. It doesn't taste like weird, like just lollies or cheap essence that you buy in a bottle, like cooking essence or something like that. It's not like that at all. But the flavors aren't quite whiskey. They don't taste like alcohol and grain and barrel to me. They're delicious, don't get me wrong. It's really nice, but it's not quite whiskey. It's also not quite corn. It's really close to corn, but it's more like sugary cereal and milk. It's kind of that sort of grain flavor to it. Whereas this is more corn. Yeah, heaps more corn. And this sits more towards the butterscotch and licorice side of things. Before we get on to the last glass I need to taste, I want to say a huge thank you to the Patreons. I know there's a couple of new Patreons out there as well, so welcome aboard, guys. I thoroughly appreciate it. And for anyone that doesn't quite know what's going on here, the Patreons are the ones that make all of this possible. Without the Patreon crew, still it would not be a thing anymore. If you want to find out more what Patreon is all about, there's a link down below. You can check it out in the description. So, what I want to do now is taste my UJSSM with this in it. Now, someone suggested this to me a while ago as a way to bump up the complexity of the stuff that I'm making, to give to give that extra layer of something to it. And ever since I heard it, I thought it was an amazing idea, but I've forgotten who told me that. So I'm really sorry. If it was you, make sure you tell me in the comments down below, because I promise you this idea has been rattling around in my head for a while, and I'm kind of excited to taste it. And I haven't tasted this yet. I haven't tried it yet. Let me rinse. Oh yeah, okay. I think the heavy toasted oak flavor that I was talking about in the UJSSM is still very present in this, but it's layered with that cooked apple and cooking spices, and it takes it away from tasting like just a straight up apple pie, or apple crumble, I should say, because I don't really know apple pie that well. And it makes it much more whiskey-like. It also adds those extra flavors to the UJSM, which is honestly on the nose. Like I said, it's pretty one-dimensional on the nose. Okay, so that's a win. It is better on the nose than this or this. Still a pale shadow, a pale comparison to the Woodford. Okay, I like it better like this too. Okay, so this is hands down better than the UJSSM by itself. The UJSSM masks the oh no, it's coming back on the aftertaste now. It does mask quite well the cooked apple flavor, which I don't dislike. Like I keep saying, it's not bad, it's just not bourbon to me. But that is getting pretty good, guys, I gotta tell you. Okay, so honestly, team, in order of what I would drink, or what I would most enjoy on the table right now, Woodford Reserve, like I said, I can't say it enough, hands down better than this. Maker's Mark, hands down better than all of these. With what's left, I would 100% take the UJSSM with some of this mixed into it above the other two. Now these two, it would depend on my mood. I think they're about the same, really. This one, if I'm feeling like something sweeter, more desserty, I would go with the Essence whiskey. If I'm wanting a real drink a bit more, I would go with the UJSSM. So, there you have it, guys. I am thoroughly impressed with this stuff, and what I would really like you to do is, if you've tried this, let me know. If you haven't tried it, I know you can get it in Australia. I don't know where else, to be perfectly honest with you. And I would be very interested to hear what other essences you guys have tried and either loved or hated. I'd be very interested to hear from you about that. And even more so, if you've tried other essences and this as well, let me know. So, a huge thank you to Luke from Duck Distilling. I really appreciate it, dude. And yeah, I'm really impressed with this. Nice work. I would love to hear what other essences you're making as well if you're out there listening. Okay guys, here's the deal. Over the next few weeks for Christmas, I'm going to pretty much take a couple of weeks off. I really want to just chill, recharge the batteries and have some time with the family. I will potentially throw a couple of short little videos up on the channel. I'll see how I go, but no promises there. Anyway team, I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed this. Like I said, get in touch if you've had experience with essences. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it, because this was a whole lot of fun for me. In any case, team, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really liked it, make sure you subscribe down below. If you want to help the channel out and you're not sure quite how to do it, have a think about who else might want to watch this video and share it with them. And until next time, team, keep on chasing the craft. See ya.